Hey family, on November 20th through December 1st, 2022, we will have the all-inclusive Kenya trip. Now, a lot of times people have said, hey, Phil, when's the next trip we'd like to go? I want to see Africa for myself, but this is the time to go. Everything will be taken care of. All excursions are paid. You can do monthly payments. You know, they'll have safari and a 6-city tour. You will see Charlie Island, which is something that we did not see last time on the tour. This tour will be 12 days instead of 7 days. So make sure to secure your place on the trip by going to www.wbsvs.com, make your deposit, and then you can start making your payments, and we'll see you in Kenya.
Now, social media platforms have created new avenues for consumers to access news and business content, and with the increasing high unemployment rate in many African countries, these platforms are offering young people an opportunity to create and sell their content online. For more on this, we're joined by African Diaspora News Network founder Philip Scott. Philip, good evening to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Kathy, for welcoming me.
Look, it looks easy, right, when people have either millions of followers on social media, or like you do, we've started up a platform on YouTube that has over 1 million followers. But how much work does it really take to build a following and to build that credibility, especially for an online news platform like what you run?
Well, what inspired me to get started was we needed a platform to speak to our issues and problems in America, because most of the media is dominated by white-owned companies, which don't really promote our interest. So when I started, I wanted to just get my voice out and get it heard. And, you know, some people today just want to be famous, and that may be good for some people, but if you want to build credibility, especially with black American people, you got to make sure you tell the truth, put receipts, as we say in America, show the receipts, and just be dedicated to it, because there's going to be some highs and lows, but if you keep pressing on, you keep being dedicated, you can really get somewhere.
You talk about the big agencies being not just where the resources lie, but that's often where you find the advertising revenue, because they are seen as more trusted platforms of advertising by big media companies. In terms of generating your own revenue, how did you make that switch from just being a guy with a microphone who had important issues he wanted to discuss to actually saying, this is a product that I can make a living off?
Well, it went from just a hobby to saying, okay, let me take this seriously. So I got with someone. They kind of helped me, you know, get it toward more of a business. And when I started taking it serious as a business, because, you know, the news and information is very important. And if you look at, especially in America, throughout the world, white people have a market cornered on that. And black people, we always try to say, can you include me? Can you tell our stories? They're never going to tell our stories, because the white media is meant for white people, period. So we want our own stories, so that we got to create that. So I said, I'm dedicating to us. And black people will support you if you show dedication and time to them. So with time, the money will come, but it can't be about just the money. It has to be about the dedication and passion, you know, for your people. And people will support you, because you mentioned revenue. You can make ad revenue, sure. People can donate to you. On our platform, we call it love offerings. But they can donate to you. People can buy products like shirts. You can have podcasting that can make money. You can do partner with other companies that maybe do trips. There's so many different things that you can do for the people to generate revenue.
Do you find that you are selective in the companies that you're approaching to partner up with, particularly because of the market that you're servicing, and again, wanting to ensure that you keep the purity of the product that you're offering?
Yeah, sure. We're very, very selective, because one thing I know I cannot do is mess up with my audience, because it's not the company that's going to hear it. I'm going to hear it. And if I hear it and we can not have integrity with certain things, it's not going to be good. But for us, we have, usually work with some great people. So far it's a vetting process. Some people we not want to work with at all. But usually the people got to have the same goal in mind that we have, which is, Pan-Africanism.
Tell us about the kind of stories that you do profile on your channel.
Well, for us, we want to tell our story. So in America, there's a lot of injustices that happen in America, but not only just America, even throughout the world, because I have other journalists that's here, in the African continent. I have one, young lady named One Girl. She's a, Ethiopian young lady. I have I have an editor at least in Kenya. We have other contributors we've had in, Cameroon, many different places, and we want the whole story told. And people say, hey, I didn't even hear this in my own country. There's certain stories I even covered out of South Africa sometimes. They say, wow, I didn't know that was going on here. And then they start tuning in. So I understand that even a great network like Newsroom Africa, you can't cover everything. So there's room for everybody, out here. And that's just kind of like what we're dedicating ourselves to.
And in terms of the communities that, again, you're targeting for the storytelling, how do you ensure that their voices are clearly expressed in what your reporters are saying? Because generally, let's say, if you talk about mainstream media, a story breaks and there are these checks and balances that have to be done, and there are these bodies that hold us accountable. Do you find, so how does that credibility process work with a platform like yours?
So basically, you just mentioned the gatekeepers that work in mainstream media. See, the beautiful thing about the internet is don't have gatekeepers. So for us, it's about connecting with the people, connecting with the grassroots. The people tell us what the stories are. And what we're finding out today in America, we in the grassroots black media is running the yard now. Stories that they didn't want to avoid, for instance, what's happening in Ukraine. The mainstream media did not cover how Africans were being put off of trains and dogs was being sent away. Now, they didn't cover that, but we on the grassroots media covered that. We banged that drum about that story. They had no choice but to pick it up because we made that story so loud. There's so many stories that we have covered over the years that has happened to black people, and it's our job in black media to cover black people. We can't depend on the CNN and the BBC. We don't care about that. It's our job. So we have to break the stories, and I'm passionate about it because anything that happened to black people, I feel it just as much as you'll feel it. They don't feel it in the mainstream media. It's not their people. Now, their people may be in Ukraine. That's why they're crying and saying, oh, well, this is Europe. This is not a third world country, saying things like that, right? So, because they feel that pain. Well, we feel our pain. So that's what, pushes me and drives me to do what I'm doing.
Let's talk about opportunity here because, again, the online world has opened up so much space for opportunity, but oftentimes people have mixed intentions when they're going online, and that's not a judgment call on what anybody is doing, but it just says that there are different motives for people to set up platforms. What advice would you have to young people out there who are looking at the potential and of the opportunity that they could make use of? What would you say to them to encourage them or even to advise them on how to build credible platforms that can be taken seriously and help them also make a living?
Well, the good thing about online is that it creates jobs that you could not possibly get. I mean, I have seen, just through what I do, more, finance come by what we do than I could have ever asked for any kind of job. Because let's call it what it is, especially in America, it's a glass ceiling. They're going to make sure even uneducated white folks are ahead of you. Even though you may be the most educated black person in the world, the system is built for that. So when you go online and you're willing to work hard at it, find your niche, whatever that may be, like mine is, news and information. Somebody may be cooking. Somebody could be fitness. It could be whatever. If you're dedicated to what you're doing and understand it's going to be some work you got to put in and have some principles and morals about yourself. Don't just try to do everything gimmicky. And it will take time, and you can, get money with that. You can buy some courses. You can get some consultations to help you along the way. But the money is there, even for people right here in this country. The money is online. If you can't find a job, start researching how to make money online.
All right. Let's see what they're for tonight. Founder of the Africa Diaspora News Network, Philip Scott.
Starting your Locker Natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.